Hi, how you all doing? Hi. So today I am going to be using the Crown palette, and I'm going to tell you a story at the same time. It's a really good story too. So I've put some foundation on and everything, and I'm going to list that at the end so that you know where I am. I'm just going to point to these so that you know which ones I'm using. So I'm using these sort of colours, any of those three, and I'm putting that over my NYX pot that I always use. Obviously I've used the NYX primer, and then after that I've powdered it, so you know that I've done that. And then I'm just using these there. I'm using a darker colour, this dark brown here. Sorry, I'm so sorry. One of these browns here, and I'm doing sort of half a crease, and then sort of like half the crease and then round, half the crease and then round, and then I'm using a fluffy brush just to kind of smoke that out a little bit. And then I'm using this sort of peachy colours in there. I'm just patting those on, as you can see. I'm just patting them on. I'm not, you know, that's all I'm doing with it, patting it on. I'm not rubbing it in, I'm just patting it on. Anyway, I just quite like this. It's such a lovely palette. It's just so nice, sort of like neutrally colours. So anyway, on to the story. So basically the story stays in Mexico, and there's a shop there. I'm using this eyeliner, by the way. There's a shop there, and it's called, it's in Chihuahua, I want to say, and it's a bridal shop. Anyway, so these bridal dresses, it's been open for many years, okay? And, you know, people go in there and get all their stuff, the bridal stuff, you know, when they get married. And anyway, the lady's daughter, she grew up and it was time for her to get married. So it was a really exciting time for the lady. Her own daughter's getting married. So obviously they're very excited. So she gets measured for the dress and everything like that. But then tragedy strikes. She gets bit by a black widow spider and dies. How awful for that mother. The mother is grief-stricken. She's, you know, the shop shuts for a while. She can't cope. So awful, her darling daughter, you know. And then she reopens. And then a little while after that, the locals are like, what's going on? Because suddenly there appears a mannequin that looks just like the owner in the window. But not only that, when the locals took a closer look, they could see that this mannequin had veins in her hands. Just trying to get the line straight. Sorry, excuse me. Had veins in her hands like a human being. I mean, when you see the hands, there is no way they are hands of a mannequin. There's just no way. No way. Let me do the other side. There's no way that they are the hands of a mannequin. There's just no way. So there was started to be some rumours that people started to say that it was a corpse bride, that the mother had basically put the bride in the window. But how would that be? Because the bride would decompose, surely. And then they said that maybe the bride had been mummified, you know. So, because you look at this face, and this face looks human. You know, I've never seen a mannequin that looks like it my whole life. And I've only seen the photo. Imagine if you were like close up to it and everything. Anyway, there's lots of rumours about it. Apparently the mummy, they thought it was a mummy, but then they started to think maybe this was all in the 1930s, by the way, in Chihuahua, Mexico. Well, this was happening. That mannequin is still there today, and it still looks the same, like a human face with little hands that are just like my hands or your hands with veins all on it. This is weird. Anyway, so the lady, there was rumours going on that the lady that worked there, another lady that worked there, said she used to sweat every time she had to change the bridal dress, because obviously they can't have the same one all the time, and she used to sweat because there was veins on the legs. And sometimes the model used to sweat, you know, the mannequin used to sweat as well. Weird. I don't think I'd do that job. I think I'd leave. Wouldn't you leave? I'd leave. I'd find somewhere else. There must be other jobs there. I don't think I'd want to do it. This is too creepy for me. Anyway, so the other bit about the story, which is quite fascinating, the whole thing was fascinating, started to have tourists coming. And when the tourists were looking around the shop, what would happen was, apparently, the dummy used to move. Its eyes used to move, and sometimes they'd see a slight little smirk. Then there was other rumours that there was a French magician that had apparently come to Chihuahua around the time when the daughter died or just after. And they were then saying that they thought maybe he'd done a spell on the mummy. And that because at night, apparently the locals said they were seeing her dancing with a man outside, you know, in the local area. So anyway, so after a while, this story became, you know, news all over, and people were going there to see, you know, they wanted to see this mummy. And yeah, and everybody said the same. It just looks so real, so human, so real. So I don't know, what do you think? Do you think, I don't know, I mean, I'll show you the pictures. I'll put the pictures in here so that you can see. So I'm kind of doing sort of a little bit of a, while I'm trying to do a bit of a Spanish-y sort of bride look, you know, to go with my little story. But there's another bit about this story as well. There was a family around the same time, or just before, maybe 10 or 15 years before, I think. And they had basically they had children, and they bought their child a doll. This is fascinating as well. Just around the same time, around the same area, all that. Oh dear. So they had, they bought this little doll. Okay, so the doll that they bought, that looks all right. The doll they bought, yeah, it looks good. The doll that they bought for their daughter, okay, they bought the doll for their daughter. It was just a normal doll, and this doll, hold on, I've just got to get the mascara now, haven't I? This, where'd I put it? Well, it's here. This doll that they bought, the child, you know, loved the doll and played with the doll for ages. And then, you know, children grow up, don't they? And she didn't want the doll anymore. And they put it up in the attic. That was right. They put this doll in the attic. So the doll's in the attic. The child's grown up, and you know, they didn't really think much of it. And then about 12 or 13 years later, you know, like you do, it was time to clear out the attic. You know, it was messy up there. They needed to go up there. So they went up to the attic, and they couldn't believe it. They saw, right, this is crazy, right? They saw this doll, right? And the doll had aged like a person. The doll had actually aged like a person. Wrinkles, just like people do when they get old. And it was like all old. And the eyes just looked really haunted. Well, they were spooked. And they saw that it was their daughter's doll because it had the clothes that the daughter had with the doll when she got the doll. So anyway, so they were pretty spooked by it, and they got rid of it. And the thing is, nobody knows where that doll is now or any of that. They don't know where it is. So, I mean, it'd probably be a mystery forever, that one. I'm going to try now and do my contouring with this. I've got to organise myself. So then a lot of psychics, you know, started to talk about, you know, this doll and the aging doll and everything. And then some sort of professionals, you know, like doll makers, they came out and they said, well, if it was plastic, it wouldn't really wrinkle. It would kind of like crack. Or if it was made out of anything like that, it was going to crack. It's not going to wrinkle. I mean, that's just crazy. You know, dolls don't wrinkle. So what do you, and some paranormal people, you know, they started to say that maybe basically the little girl was playing with this doll, and somehow it got, you know, possessed by a spirit, some kind of entity. Well, that sounds more probable. And then it sort of aged and died. You know, maybe when the little girl was playing with it. Oh, by the way, I've just contoured with this Sleek palette here. I'm gonna contour my nose as well. I'm gonna show you how I do that as well. I'm just gonna do it with this. So I've just got like this little brush, and I'm just gonna go like down the sides of my nose like that, just a little bit to make it a bit thinner. Just down there. I just think maybe a thinner nose would look good with this. And I'm going to go down the sides, and then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take this brush and I'm going to go like this. So kind of like creating a little bit of a 3D look to it. Yeah, you don't need a lot. And then I'm going to use, excuse me while I get my highlighter. Let me show you my highlighter I'm going to put on it. So what do you think? Do you think that the doll was possessed? Was it possible that the doll was possessed, and maybe that's what's happened with the bride as well in the shop? Maybe the bride, you know, the mannequin bride is also possessed. I don't know. It's just really weird. Kind of want to go and see it now myself. But there's so many weird things in this world, isn't there, really? So now I'm just putting this down the front there, and then I'm just putting it down the sides as well, like just where because I put the dark bit, and then behind that thing, I think if I put that there, it should make it look a bit thinner. And then you can put a little bit on the end of your nose if you want, like that. There's so many little tricks you can do with this makeup dark. I don't know, does it look thinner? Probably looks bigger. No, I don't know. I like to go like that as well with my fingers, just to like really sharpen it. So yeah, and I'm just going to put some blusher and stuff on now. Yeah, I found this story really, really fascinating. And yes, it's good to like find something. I'm just putting a bit of this powder on. This is Rimmel. This powder on. Anyway, how's everybody else doing today? Yeah, there are so many unexplained things in the world, aren't there, really, that you can't ever really explain why they happen. I'm going to use bronzer because obviously, you know, they would have been quite brown. I think this is how they would have their makeup, kind of like this. I hope I'm right. I'm just doing it over my cheekbones there. Just a bit of bronzer, put a bit on my head. I just found this music, it's quite nice actually. I'm finding it quite mellow. I really want to go to Mexico. I've never been. I've heard it's beautiful. Oh, the food would be out of this world. I love all their food. Right, let's I'm just going to put a bit of pink on here, just a little bit, just a little bit of that, and then I'm going to put some highlighter on. There's a brush here, some highlighter on the top. Yeah, but I still can't believe how long that bridal mannequin's been in the window since 1930. How many years is that? What I do with this is I just go over like that. And then, I mean, it's got to be something going on, because if it was human, it would definitely be decomposed by now. Obviously, it's years ago. It's those hands. When you see the pictures, when I put these pictures up, you'll see what I mean. Right, and then I'm just going to do some lip liner. This one, and I'm just going to go do it like around like that. I'm going to do like a round colour. I think that's, yeah, that looks alright, doesn't it? Right, then I'm going to use this. That one was, what was that called? Oh, Max Factor, just red one that I found. And this is the French one. I love this one. I'm just going to put this on there. I love this, so nice. It's hard to talk when you're doing lipstick. And then in the middle, I'm going to use my NYX, my favourite. Ooh, dramatic music. So what do you think, guys? Tell me in the comments below what you think about the story that I just told you about the ghost bride dummy in the window, or mannequin. Do you think that it's a spell been put on it by a magician? Do you think that it's the corpse bride, you know, the real corpse bride? Or do you think that it's just a very realistic mannequin. The most realistic one that's ever gone. I think that's probably it. I think I'm probably done. So there you go, that's my little Mexican wedding look and story today. I wish you a lovely weekend, everybody, and yeah, if you can like and subscribe to my channel, that would be good. I have only just started doing these I have only just started doing these, so thank you. Be great. Bye.